Hello everyone, I am the Backpack Vegan, and this channel is about two of my passions: healthy living, the real vegan lifestyle, and travel. So I will give you a little taste of the journey that I've been I became a vegetarian about 13 years ago. And in the beginning, I was what I consider to be a bad vegetarian, which means I ate a lot of processed foods, and I also ate a lot of, so I ate a lot of synthetic soy products like veggie dogs, veggie burgers, veggie Italian sausages, so anything that reminded me of my former meat eating world, I ate, as long as it wasn't the actual meat. And then I became a better vegetarian, so I ate more whole grains, I ate more fruit, and I limited the amount of synthetic or processed foods in my diet. But I was still addicted to cheese. And so even as a vegetarian you can eat cheese, but I was really addicted to it, and that veganism was an optimal dietary choice for me, but I just could not get over my cheese addiction. And it wasn't until I came across the work of Dr. Bernard Neal and food addictions that I began to understand why it was so hard for me to stop cheese. I would tell people, oh yeah, I would be a vegan if I could just stop eating cheese. But now I know why it was so hard. So to beat this addiction, well, I became determined about 2 years ago to just sort of stop it or try to reduce it significantly. You would think I would move from a cooked vegetarian diet to a cooked vegan diet, but no, I had to go full force. So I jumped from a cooked vegetarian diet to a raw vegan diet, and like most people who begin the raw food or become part of the raw food movement, you go right to the gourmet raw because it reminds you of what you used to eat, gives you that feeling of satisfaction. And so but that diet is high in fat, so that I now understand is problematic. And also I did a lot of juicing during that time, and I still think that there are a lot of benefits to juicing. However, I found that the gourmet raw and the juicing became very, very time consuming and very, very expensive. And I never really felt fully satisfied with that diet. I wasn't necessarily hungry, I just never felt satisfied. So then I started to look into more of a balance. One, because of my pocketbook, and two, I just thought it had to be something optimal, something better. Started to continue to do research and explore. After a while, all the messages were like crowding my head. They were just like overwhelming. And so then I started to look for more of a balance and became a high green and fruit vegan. But my diet still included oil, sugar, and sugar, like fancy sugars like agave, and salt. So what I did is throw everything into a pot, and I came up with core messages from all the lifestyles, from vegetarianism to raw veganism to veganism to whatever. And they're all saying the same thing: is that you need to avoid meat and dairy, no burner. You need to limit your oil or have no oil. You need to limit your sugar intake or don't add any added sugar. Eat your carbs, eat your fruit, eat your starches like potatoes and yams. Eat lots of veggies, eat lots of greens, drink lots of water, and exercise. So that's it, and so that's how I live my life, and I think that. And now I follow a 50% raw diet and a 50% cooked diet, but I limit my oil, I limit my salt, and I limit my sugar. I am truly thankful for this entire journey, because I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about health care, and I'm grateful for every step of the journey. Even though the vegetarian part was a massive piece of it, I know that the lifestyle that I'm living now feels right, it feels balanced, it feels whole, and I know that it's going to consume the rest of the time that I'm here. So again, my diet is 50% fruits and veggies, 50% cooked veggies, as well as whole grains and starches, and I limit the oil, sugar, and salt. If I have no oil, that would be optimal. So yeah, I'm truly thankful for each phase because I learned something from each component. So from a vegetarian lifestyle, I learned that it's okay to take a bold step. It's okay to be different. When I became a vegetarian, my family thought I was crazy. You know, they didn't know how to cook for me. It was like a major deal in my family. But I really began to understand the connection between food and what I eat and healthcare through a vegetarian diet. When I became a raw food vegan, I really became invested in wellness and not just sort of what I can do to cure this ailment or to address this issue, but really sort of holistic wellness. So I think that was really important. And also I learned, I learned about some green smoothies. I learned about juicing. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, I got my first blender, my first professional blender by being a raw foodist. So that is really something that I will take with me into the rest of my food journeys now. And from being a raw / cooked vegan, which basically means that 50% of my diet is fruits and vegetables, and the other 50% of my diet is whole grains and starches and beans, legumes. So what I learned is that it's all about optimal health. It's all about wellness and balance. And what I also think is really important is that, we are constantly, as vegetarians and as vegans, constantly bombarded with messages that, we need more protein. And I already knew that that wasn't the case, that we get what we need from fruits and vegetables. But this notion that carbs was evil was still something that, even though I resisted it, it was so pervasive in the culture that I constantly thought about, and I would try to limit carbs. But being a cooked vegan, now I realize that carbs are not evil. It's what we do to them, what the standard American diet does to carbs, that is evil. So I have my sweet potato, and I have my so I have my sweet potato, and I have my white potato, and I have my greens, and I have my whole grains, and I know that it provides me with 99.9% of the nutrients and vitamins that I need. So that's the balance. That's the balance for me. So I'm thankful for this entire journey, and I don't know how many of you have gone through that journey, but I wanted to sort of share that with you and share how I'm living now. And part of it, I call myself the backpack vegan because, if you know me, I always have my backpack. You know that I love to travel, and I have my backpack for two reasons. Because, I'm always, carrying around books, and sometimes I have food in my travels. So I will be talking about my day-to-day, well, not so much. I will be sharing with you everyday recipes. I think the key is to keep it simple and to keep it balanced. And so I will be sharing with you my, everyday recipes, how I live this lifestyle, how I live this lifestyle when I'm not traveling, and how I live the lifestyle when I am traveling. And also other little tidbits, other little things that I would share about what I do, that makes this sort of a really cool way of being. To make this sort of a cool way of being and living. So that is my channel. Backpack Vegan. Subscribe.